Thursday night football, Buffalo hosting Miami. Want to make some money? Stay with us. We're going to tell you exactly how to bet that game. Plus a whole lot more. We're going to do a heavy college football show today on the best betting show ever. Joe Raineri's got 2 college football best bets. I have 2 college football best bets. And of course, Art DiCesare to start the show with our sports book update. Stay with us all the way through. Love having you guys. Joe, Art, thanks for doing this. How you look at that, Joe, 2 days in a row with a crew neck. I feel like I've affected you.
Oh, you've affected me, Prez. Yes. I feel a movement coming on right now, in fact. So can we get it going, please? That'd be great. Thanks.
Art DiCesare, how was your night last night? How you doing, my brother?
Good, not bad. Always a pleasure to be with you boys in the morning.
Well, I appreciate I was just going to say I appreciate the drivel coming out of your mouth. Okay, Art, sports betting. That's what we do. That's why we're here. You obviously had a lot of people walk into the Westgate yesterday and smack down some Benjamins. Tell us where the money is in college football.
Sure, let's do some college football. Let's talk about the game tonight. Rice at Charlotte. We opened that as high as Rice 4.5. Never saw any bets on it. When we got to 3 and went with the market, saw some bets at +3. We are now Rice -2. We will need Rice in the game because of all the Charlotte money at 3. A little bit of nibble too on Charlotte on the money line. Total's 42.5. There really hasn't been much to speak of on that. A couple of other games for Saturday. UNLV, big game for the in-town people. UNLV at Miami of Ohio. UNLV has stayed steady at 2.5. Total of 49.5. We're actually going to need UNLV in the game because of the money we've seen on Miami of Ohio on the money line. And this is a fascinating game. Usually it's a basketball game. NC State at Duke. But Duke at home laying 3. Total of 58. This has seen pretty good two-way money on both sides, so there's really not much of a decision. But it feels like we'll probably need, I would say, NC State in the game because I think more money will come on Duke as we get closer to kickoff. Total's gone down from 59.5 all the way to 58 on that game.
So, Art, some of these games early in the week, like the Thursday night or Friday night college football, how public heavy does it get? Or are you not seeing a ton of public action on the early week games here?
You don't, unless you get a better matchup. I mean, you guys know, Rice at Charlotte is not moving the needle. And despite a bad Thursday night NFL game, which it's a bad game with a spread like that, because, Miami could be one of the worst teams in the league, it just, Rice and Charlotte doesn't move the needle. You're just going to see sharp money on that. Every once in a while you get a good matchup in some of these bigger conferences, and obviously this is a smaller conference, so we really just fight against sharp money on these type of games.
Art DiCesare joining us. You're watching the best betting show ever. Art, me, Joe, every day. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and please make sure to comment. The word of the day is come up with something good. Josh Allen. Josh.
Allen.
We'll go with
Allen.
Allen. We'll go with Allen. But what does that even mean? No, go with something cooler than that. Warrior. Yeah. Weekend Warrior special up right now, $49. You get Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. All access. There you go. Word of the day is Warrior. Put it up in the comment section if you have nothing else to comment on. Art, NFL, where's the money?
Yeah, you look at the game tonight. We were as high as 12.5 on Buffalo. Look-ahead line on that was 9.5. Now, Buffalo does have some defensive injuries, missing their big tackle, Oliver, who's huge, their linebacker, a couple guys in the secondary. So we've seen money on Miami at 12.5 and 12. We're now 11.5 on that game. Buffalo is a small need for us, but you also got to remember Buffalo is going to be very popular in teasers and very popular in moneyline parlays. So really not a huge decision on that game. A game that we've touched on earlier in the week, Green Bay at Cleveland. Green Bay now sitting 7.5 on that game, total of 41.5. We'll still need Cleveland in the game despite Cleveland being as high as +8.5. Now it's down to 7.5. But once again, Green Bay is going to be very popular in teasers, very popular in money lines. I know you and Prez, you and I both think Cleveland's live in the game. I still feel that way. And then Vegas at Washington. Washington's sitting now -3, -116. Who knows about Daniels? Obviously, that's knocked it down a little bit because it was as high as 3.5. It feels like he'll play, but obviously, if he doesn't, that will affect what happens very much so on that side and total. But right now, it's probably sitting at good two-way action because some people are saying, let me get Vegas now because it might, it's not going to be any cheaper than this. Let me get Washington now. So they're kind of playing both sides in that game.
Joe.
Yeah, no, let's go Thursday night football here because this is not exactly a prime A game in week 3, Art. But are you seeing a lot of prop money? What do you like in this game? What do we got? What do we got to look forward to tonight with Tua taking on Josh Allen?
Couple of things we've seen early in the morning. Anytime touchdown, we've seen some money on Buffalo defensive/special teams at 5-1. Tyreek Hill has seen some money on his over for yards receiving. We've gone from 63.5 to 65.5. Tua's been very popular to throw an interception at -150. And on the other side, Josh Allen, who was like -150 to not throw an interception, we're all the way up to $1.80 on him not to throw an interception. So we've seen a 20-25 cent move towards that as far as Allen not throwing a pick.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm going to tell you guys, I just got a text literally right now from a friend who said, do you think Miami will cover tonight? And it's like, yeah, no, maybe. I don't know, sort of. I would have no idea where to go in a situation like this, but I will tell everybody out there, if Miami does score first, look to come back on Buffalo. Joe, I got a couple of bets that I really love in the game tonight, and I'm personally betting both of them. I like Josh Allen over 29.5 yards rushing, and I like James Cook over 70 yards rushing. But the Josh Allen bet is, I mean, to me, I don't understand why that line's so low. And he's gone over that number, I think, every single time against Miami. Art, what are you seeing with that type of a bet?
Yeah, we're right there at 29.5, Prez, and we have not seen anything yet, but it makes sense the way Allen likes to scramble. And I know Joe had mentioned it either yesterday or the day before. Buffalo's kind of a power running team now. So the Cook thing lines up. So, and also, too, if there's a lot of running in the game, that probably kind of lines up with an under, maybe even lines up with the Dolphins covering a big number.
Not
Yeah,
me.
Joe.
To me, this is all about split the game in half. I'll take Buffalo in the first half because I think they're going to have a ton of success throwing the ball. I think that secondary of the Dolphins is trash. They can't stop the run. They've given up over 100 yards on the ground, it feels like, to everybody. I mean, both Indy and the Patriots have somehow managed to drop 30-plus points on them. So, yeah, no, I'll take Buffalo first there because I think that running art comes into the second half where they just shrink the game and they play keep away, and that's the end of that. So I'll lay the 7 in the first half with Buffalo in this one.
The parlay of the day just to come. Still a quick question to Art. Also, Joe, you got to move the yellow to TNF preview. Come on, producer boy.
Well, did you lose your space? Did you lose, what happened here? You don't know where you are? You need a rundown?
I gotta go sit in my safe space after.
Yes,
You've triggered.
yes.
You've triggered me, Joe.
Yes, you are triggered.
Art, are you guys taking these single game parlays? If so, what's the most common one for tonight's game?
Yeah, single game parlays we do see. Our biggest parlays for anything as far as NFL goes is we put up, all these players to score touchdowns, and they parlay the hell out of those. They pick anywhere from 3 to 10 players to score a touchdown, and you see the $5, $10, $15, $20 bets. Obviously, that's a big influence on social media. We see all these people every weekend. They had a $40,000 ticket because they picked 8 or 10 guys to score a touchdown. So that influence is huge as far as our weekend stuff. As far as tonight, you're not really seeing much as the same game parlays go. I mean, listen, people are going to pick Buffalo, and they'll probably pick a bunch of the props that we had just talked about and try to connect those. But the TD ones are the ones that we really have to battle every weekend.
All right.
Joe Raineri,
I don't know. Parlay of the day. Do you want me to switch it now for you? Okay, so you know where you spot. All right, there you go, Prez. Now you can go parlay today. Go ahead. It's yellow.
Okay. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, guys, this is a college football parlay of the day. I'm going to give out North Carolina plus 7.5 against UCF. I'll be breaking that game down a little later in the show, but that's leg number 1, North Carolina plus 7.5.
Oh, I like that. All right, I'm going to throw it out there. I'm going to go SMU plus the 7 against TCU in this spot. Yes, SMU beat the snot out of them a year ago here, but I do think that they will bounce back in a game that they probably shouldn't have lost. I know they shouldn't have lost it against Baylor, but I think they come back. I'll take the touchdown. What about you, Art?
It's come down. It was as high as 10, so we've missed that. But we're still getting Liberty at home plus 8.5 against James Madison. I like Liberty in this spot. I think they can win the game. Worst case, lose by a touchdown, and we're still good, plus 8.5.
Woo.
There we go. And that is the parlay of the day. Art DiCesare, thanks for doing this. Every day we get your time. I also saw you on a clip on social media with, was it Kelly or John Hoagland talking about the Crawford fight? Is that something you're doing regularly?
Yes, with John. Yeah, every Friday we're going to do a little kind of book report. We'll kind of break down the 3 biggest needs for both college and NFL. Obviously, last weekend was a little special because we talked the fight, but normally it will just be football stuff. I'm sure as we get closer to baseball, we'll do some, postseason stuff with that, but that is something we're looking to do every Friday afternoon.
There we go. Joe Raineri, Art DiCesare, the best betting show ever. We're moving on to the next segment of this show. We're putting a 2-minute clock on. We've got 2 college football best bets from me, 2 from Joe, an MLB rundown, and our mailbag segment. Also, Joe, before we get into all of that, let's take care of a couple of things business-wise. First off, we are still doing our 1 p.m. live stream. That is every Sunday. We are live streaming out of my living room. And last Sunday, we had over 20,000 people log on. I'm not kidding you guys. 20,000 people logged on to participate in our Let's Watch Football and Make Bets Together show. It's again this Sunday. Go over to WagerTalk TV. Check it out. There's a ton of us on that show. It is a freaking blast. That's number 1. Number 2, I have a 5% play in the NFL up for Sunday. Like I said yesterday, anybody who has never made a purchase at WagerTalk can head over there and get my 5% play for only $1. It's normally $35, $1. Use the promo code NEWPREZ, NEWPREZ, NEWPREZ. You get my 5% play for $1. That's the strongest bet I have. 5 does not get stronger than a 5% play, and I've only had 1 this football season, and I'm 1-0. Joe, anything going on with you?
Yep. College football, got the blowout of the weekend available, 4% up at my page at WagerTalk, not to mention a game you got to bet Major League Baseball tonight. Stop what you're doing and head over there and grab that. Can't believe there's only 2 weeks left in the MLB, Press.
Joe, I can't wait for the playoffs, especially as a Toronto Blue Jay fan. Brother, cue the clock. Charlotte playing Rice. That game goes tonight. I've got a total for you guys, and keep in mind, I'm perfect in college football totals for my clients, 6-0. Let's get into it. So let's talk about this game. It goes tonight. It is a game the entire nation is buzzing about. And when I mean buzzing, I mean they smoked something and went to sleep. With that said, who cares? This is about making money, and it doesn't matter if it's Charlotte, Rice, or Alabama, Clemson. Let's start with Rice. They've decided to run a ground and pound option style offense. The only problem, they suck at it. They're averaging a pathetic 3.5 yards a carry against actual real teams. And they have a grand total of, are you ready? 5 explosive plays. So where do you think we're going with this? On the other side, Charlotte, they can throw the ball a little bit, but their run game is a complete joke, averaging under 3 yards per game. I could fall and average more than 3 yards per game. They're completely one-dimensional, and don't be fooled by their offensive numbers last week. That was against Mammoth, What are we doing in this game? We're going to look to play the under. I know it's low, 42.5, but I don't see a lot of scoring. Take Charlotte and Rice under the total. Now we turn our attention to North Carolina. They're playing UCF, and I like the dog here at +7.5. I know everyone saw UNC get trashed by TCU in the opener, and they're still panicking about their defense. Let's not. The kid at quarterback for TCU is a legitimate NFL prospect who is going to do that to a lot of teams. What we've seen already is a talented, well-coached Power 5 team that has fixed its issues and is getting better every single week. They have an experienced QB room and a massive overall talent advantage in this matchup. I love North Carolina here, +7.5. And hey, maybe sprinkle a little bit on the money line. Joe?
Oh, impressive, Prez. All right, I am going to go with a couple of games here in which teams I really like, and one of them we were on last week, taking on Washington State at home, and that is North Texas. Now they're going to head on the road and take on the Black Knights of Army. And listen, they have put up 145 points through 3 games so far this year. This Mestamaker there, the quarterback for them, is no joke here. They're averaging 47 points a game, and the defense is much better than anybody had given them credit for heading into the season. Now, Army is going to try to slow this game down. Good luck. They're going to have to score, though, if they are going to keep up here with North Texas. Love this quarterback. Love the defense. Love the fact they're at such a cheap price. And yes, I know they're on the road, but I'll take offense any day in this spot here. Yeah, give me a team that can light you up, and before you know it, you are down a couple of scores. And we all know Army absolutely not built to come from behind. And speaking of the service academies, why don't we head out and take a look at this Boise State taking on Air Force. Now, Air Force just lost by 19 points as a 4-point favorite against Utah State. Yikes. Utah State averaged close to 8.5 yards per play in that game. They ran them over. Boise State, much better than Utah State, even though they don't have Ashton Genty. I love them in this spot. 9.5, 10. Yes, they're going to have to go on the road to Air Force, but I think there's levels to this. We saw them lose to South Florida the first go-around, first game of the season, but now they got a couple of games under their belt. Really like this Boise State defense, like the offense, like the matchup. I'm going and laying it with Boise State here against Air Force.
There we go. Great stuff, Joe Raineri. You're doing killer in college football. So am I. Well, not killer. I'm slightly up, but I'm going to have a big week this week. NFL, I'm rolling, and I got one play up for my clients tonight. MLB rundown, Joe. 2 minutes, every game on the board. Hopefully the Blue Jays will be in there as a dub.
Ooh, yeah, I wouldn't count on that, Prez, but we are down to the nitty-gritty. A lot of afternoon baseball here on a Thursday. Guardians looking to continue rolling against the Tigers, now 4.5 games back. Scooble on the mound. That probably ends here today. The Mets and the Padres. Padres bounce back here. Mets bringing a thong to the mound. Oh, I'm sorry. Tong is his name, not thong. Doesn't matter. Padres are winning one way or the other. The Blue Jays and the Rays. The Prez says we should take the Jays. Yeah, I'm going to take the over with Bassett and Baz on the mound there. Athletics and Red Sox. Bayo against Ginn. I'm looking at the Red Sox to get it done here. The Royals and Mariners. Yeah, I like Kolek. I like the Royals. I like them in the first 5 in this game. Bounce back city here for Seattle. Not with Castillo on the road. Not for me. I'll take the Royals in the first 5. The Marlins and the Rockies. Alcantara on the mound. You know the routine. Over in that game. A lot of afternoon baseball, like I said. And then you got the Reds and the Cubs tonight. Cubs just clinched. The Reds did not. Hunter Green on the mound for the Reds tonight. I'll be looking their way. Also, the Yankees on the road taking on the O's, who have been red hot. The problem is Max Fried is on the mound there, looking for some runs. Team total for the Yankees in that one. Angels and Brewers. Priester versus Kikuchi. The Brewers have won 18 starts straight of Quinn Priesters here. There is no reason to think they won't win another one here against the lowly Angels. And then finally, you've got the Dodgers at home taking on the Giants. Yamamoto versus Webb. Cheap price for the Dodgers. Get it while you can. I've got no problem back in LA. They won yesterday. Even though it's Webb, he's better at home than he is on the road. So I'll take the Dodgers to get game one of that series there, Prez. And that is your MLB rundown.
Joe Raineri, we got a show going tomorrow. Make sure to watch it every single day. We're up around 1 p.m. Eastern on WagerTalk TV. Guys, hit that like button. Comment, please. Word of the day is Warrior. If you got nothing to say, just say that. Joe, the mailbag section of the show, let's get to it. Look, we're getting incredible response from people watching this show. Joe Raineri, you are the best. I did respond to that person and ask what specifically are you the best at? I'm still waiting. We also have a lot. Thank you, Mr. Prez, for mentioning my name. Tim, always a pleasure. Guys, ask us questions. We will answer them. Nathan writes, take a shot every time Joe makes a weird face. You will get drunk in no time. There's 3 right there, Nathan. So he's catering right to you. I like when Art be on here. Grammar, my friend.
Yes.
Love the solid digs at each other. They're not digs at each other. We're just talking. And then one of our listeners, Bill Sandoval, who I love, he's been around forever, wrote, if you use Savistito pomade in your hair, it doesn't flake or get crunchy.
Ooh.
I think that's for you, Joe. So, yeah.
I like it. I'm going to go
So,
it.
yeah, so there we go, guys. Detroit and Baltimore over is the play of the week. That's what Sober says. He thinks 70 points will be scored.
Ooh.
What do you think about that game, Joe? I mean, it feels like, how can you bet that game under? How?
I don't know that I could bet a game and sweat that out to the under here. Feels like, though, could be a blowout. One team is going to score a lot of points in that game, though, Prez. I tend to lean towards Baltimore getting more points here.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at this game is take both teams' team total over. Worst case, you go 1-1. Worst case, 1-1. That's the show. Joe Raineri, the Prez, Art DiCesare. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure to tune in tomorrow. Make sure to like, subscribe. Make sure to purchase my $5, my 5% play. It's only $1. The promo code over at WagerTalk.com is new Prez. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow, and let's all win together.